Imagine waking up one morning, stepping outside your house, and realizing your town is slowly dying beneath your feet, not because of war, not because of disease, but because the ground itself is on fire. For more than 60 years, this fire has never stopped burning. Roads cracked open, smoke rose from the earth, families abandoned everything they owned, and today, only a handful of people still live there. This is the story of Centralia, the town America tried to erase. Deep in Pennsylvania, hidden between forests and empty highways, sits one of the strangest towns in American history. At first glance, Centralia looks frozen in time. Empty streets, broken buildings, graffiti-covered roads disappearing into thick smoke. But what makes this place terrifying isn't what you can see. It's what's happening underground. Beneath the town, an uncontrollable fire has been burning since 1962, and nobody knows when it will stop. Some scientists believe it could continue burning for another 200 years. But the creepiest part, people used to live normal lives here. Children played in the streets, families built homes, neighbors knew each other, until one mistake changed everything forever. Long before Centralia became a ghost town, it was alive. In the late 1800s, Centralia was a hard-working mining town. Coal was everything here. Nearly every family depended on the mines. Fathers, sons, brothers, all worked underground. The town wasn't rich, but it was proud. Small diners stayed open late. Churches filled every Sunday morning. Kids rode bicycles through quiet streets. It was the kind of town where everyone knew everyone. But underneath Centralia, there was a hidden danger. A massive network of coal veins stretched deep below the earth. And once coal catches fire underground, it becomes almost impossible to stop. In May of 1962, the town prepared for Memorial Day celebrations. Like many towns back then, workers were asked to clean a local landfill. Trash had piled up near an abandoned mining pit. So the firefighters did what seemed normal at the time. They burned the garbage. Nobody expected anything unusual. But hidden beneath that landfill, there were exposed coal seams connected to old mining tunnels. The flames reached underground, and suddenly the fire disappeared into the earth. At first, nobody panicked. Small underground fires happened sometimes in mining areas. Officials believed they could put it out quickly. They were wrong. Every attempt failed. The fire kept spreading deeper underground, silently moving beneath homes, schools, and streets. At first, the people of Centralia tried to ignore it. Life continued. Children still went to school, businesses stayed open, families hoped the government would solve the problem. But slowly, strange things began happening. Hot smoke started rising from the ground. Residents complained about headaches. Trees began dying without explanation. Some mornings, thick, toxic fog covered entire streets. Then came the cracks. Roads split apart. Steam escaped from the pavement. Backyards became dangerously hot. People realized something terrifying. Their town was burning from below. Then, something happened that shocked the entire country. In 1981, a 12-year-old boy named Todd Domboski was playing in his grandmother's backyard. Without warning, the ground beneath him collapsed. A massive sinkhole suddenly opened. Thick smoke poured from the hole. The temperature below was deadly. Todd barely survived. His cousin managed to pull him out seconds before he disappeared into the burning earth. That moment changed everything, because now, the fire was no longer just underground. It was reaching the people above it. After the sinkhole incident, authorities finally accepted the truth. Centralia could not be saved. The government began evacuating residents. Families were offered money to leave their homes forever. Some accepted immediately, others refused. Because leaving Centralia meant abandoning memories, childhood homes, entire lives. Streets slowly became empty. Houses were demolished one by one. Schools closed. Churches shut down. Entire neighborhoods vanished. And eventually, even the zip code of Centralia was deleted. Today, Centralia barely exists. Most buildings are gone. Nature has swallowed the streets. Smoke still rises from cracks in the earth. Warning signs stand beside abandoned roads. And at night, The silence feels unnatural. Some explorers claim they hear distant sounds underground. Others say the town feels cursed. But maybe the creepiest part is that the fire is still burning right now, underneath the empty town, slowly consuming everything below. Centralia is more than just a ghost town. It's a reminder of how one small mistake can destroy an entire community. Families lost homes, children lost their hometown, and a place once filled with life became one of America's strangest abandoned locations. Even today, the fire continues beneath the earth, unseen, unstoppable, endless, and somewhere under those empty streets, Centralia is still burning. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more mysterious abandoned places, forbidden locations, and dark true stories from around the world, because some places are forgotten for a reason. There are places in America that feel like they were abandoned by reality itself. Places where time stopped moving. Places where nature slowly swallowed entire neighborhoods. Places so empty that even the wind sounds wrong. And deep in the mountains of Pennsylvania, there's a town called Concrete City. At first glance, it looks like the ruins of an old war zone. Rows of massive abandoned concrete houses, broken windows staring into darkness, long empty streets with nobody left alive to walk them. No stores, no lights, no voices, only silence. But what makes Concrete City terrifying isn't just the way it looks, it's the feeling people get when they enter it, because according to locals, this town was never completely abandoned. Long before it became one of Pennsylvania's strangest forgotten places, Concrete City was built for miners. In the early 1900s, coal companies needed housing for workers and their families, so they created a small town near the mines. But unlike normal towns made from wood, these homes were built entirely from concrete. At the time, it sounded futuristic. Strong walls, fireproof buildings, cheap construction. The company believed Concrete City would become the future of mining communities. But almost immediately, problems began. The houses trapped moisture. Water leaked through walls. Condensation covered the rooms during winter. Families complained constantly. The homes felt cold, uncomfortable, lifeless, and slowly. People began leaving. Within only a few years, most residents had abandoned the town. Concrete City never truly became a real community. It died almost as quickly as it was born. After the families left, the town sat empty. Year after year, the buildings decayed, windows shattered, doors disappeared. Nature pushed through the streets. But unlike most abandoned towns, Concrete City never disappeared completely. Teenagers explored it at night. Urban explorers traveled there searching for ruins. Locals spread stories about strange things happening inside the empty buildings. Some claimed they heard footsteps echoing through abandoned hallways. Others said they saw shadows moving through broken windows, and some visitors reported something even stranger, an overwhelming feeling that they were being watched. At night, Concrete City becomes something entirely different. The silence feels heavy. Every empty doorway looks alive. Every broken hallway disappears into darkness. And because the buildings are made from gray concrete, the entire town feels cold and unnatural, like a place never meant for human life. Some explorers refuse to stay there after sunset, not because of ghosts, but because of the atmosphere itself. The town feels wrong, as if something was unfinished there. Over the years, Concrete City became covered in graffiti. Artists painted the walls, symbols appeared across abandoned rooms, dark messages covered the concrete structures. And strangely, that only made the town feel more disturbing. Because now, it looked less like an abandoned mining town and more like the remains of a forgotten civilization. Today, Concrete City still stands in Pennsylvania, decaying slowly beneath trees and fog. Most people driving nearby have no idea it exists. No tourists, no businesses, no life. Just rows of silent concrete homes slowly collapsing into the earth. And maybe that's what makes places like this so unsettling. Not violence, not disasters, not death, but emptiness. A town built for families that never truly became a home. A place created for life that somehow always felt dead. Concrete City may not be America's most famous ghost town, but once you see it, you never forget it.